Hello everyone! So I am probably going to open a can of worms with this video, but I had a person on Facebook recently come at me regarding volunteering for a mermaid event. Basically they were saying if you don't charge every single time you are a professional mermaid in a public capacity at least $250 per hour for a minimum of 2 hours, so $500 minimum for the event, then you are somehow degrading the rest of the mermaid community and maybe making them not worth as much. I guess they felt like they couldn't charge that if everybody wasn't charging that. Her reasoning behind this was that our equipment is very expensive, which it is. Tails are not cheap. And also that you are kind of taking a risk swimming with children if it's a pool party, but even if it's not a pool party, she said you're still working with kids, so you should be paid fairly. Which I do believe you should be paid fairly, but if you want to volunteer your time, I feel like that is also something that should be applauded, not frowned upon. In my mind, that's kind of like saying a community that is charitable or a person that is charitable is a bad thing. Like, you shouldn't do that because it devalues everybody else. Doesn't like being charitable raise your value? I don't know. It's just a nice thing to do, right? And here's my take on it. So I am a professional teacher, professional educator. I've been in the education field since 2007. I have a learning blog with early learning activities on it. I taught elementary school. I have a master's degree in education. I currently work with the kids at our church as the ministry coordinator for that area. And guess what? I volunteer at my son's school to help the teachers. Why on earth would I do that? Because I think volunteering is a good thing. I think when someone wants to take their precious time and help somebody else for free, that is a blessing. In my ministry, I could not run what I do without my volunteers. They work with children and they are not paid. Honestly, like we wouldn't have kids ministry without our volunteers. So translated to mermaiding, isn't that kind of the same thing? Like if a nonprofit organization reaches out to you, or like I volunteered at my kids' school for free for their fundraiser for the PTA, I think that's a good thing. Am I wrong? Is it different just because I'm a professional mermaid? And on the subject of payment and what you charge, I'm actually very curious to know out there in the community for those party princesses, professional mermaids who either run their own business or work for a company, what do you get paid per hour? When I first started out doing party princess gigs about 10 years ago, it was literally just because my friends and coworkers knew that I liked Disney and they were like, hey, will you be a princess at my daughter's party? So I was like, sure. Back then I felt like it was fair to charge for the whole party, $50 or $100, depending on the person who was asking and what they could afford. Now I do charge a little bit more. I do $100 per hour if it's a kid's birthday party. At Little Beach Babes, I only charge $50 an hour because honestly, I am working for my friends. It's their boutique. I love it. I want it to succeed. So, and I appreciate them bringing me in and allowing me to do what I love, you know? Best job ever, right? Also, I do know that the Wiki Wachi mermaids make $12 an hour, swimming underwater in the freezing cold springs, working with kids, setting the theater up, making sure the whole thing runs smoothly. And then Disney princesses at Disney World make between $15 and $28 depending on their job. So the princesses that are like in parades, singing songs, they're gonna make a little more. The ones who are just greeting people and taking pictures, they're gonna make a little less. So with those two little bits of information, I feel like $100 an hour is really good. But I'm still curious, what do you guys charge if you are a professional entertainer or children's entertainer, I guess? If you're not, as a parent, maybe what would you expect to charge for something like that? Which brings me to another point. I feel like it's not fair for having a mermaid or princess at your party to be an elitist thing for rich people. Like, I want to bring joy to everybody. So if a parent can only pay me $100 an hour for a party, I still want to go. I still want to make that magic for their kid. Doesn't every child deserve a little magic? I don't know, that's just me. So anyway, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Slightly scared that I might get come at again, but what are your opinions on this matter? Please enlighten me. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you later.